You're listening to an iHeart podcast.
Did you know Dansko's been supporting women pursuing meaningful work since 1990? Yep, Dansko the Clog Company, but it's more than just footwear. Dansko is a symbol of comfort, quality, and purpose. Women wear Dansko shoes as a badge of their values and a nod to the work they do every day. Work that makes a difference in their communities, one bold step at a time. Dansko's Heritage Collection and newest designs are made for life on the move. Dansko's slip on and go, easy to adjust styles save you time, while their commitment to high quality materials ensures long lasting comfort and durability. Whether you're on your feet all day, tackling big goals, or simply embracing every day, Dansko is there to support you every step of the way. Because at Dansko, every decision is made with you in mind, from the shoes they design to the impact they make. Step into comfort and purpose today. Visit Dansko, dansko.com/radio to learn more or try a pair. That's dansko.com/radio. We all have that piece, the one that's so you've basically become known for it. And if you don't know yet, fashionistas, you'll find it on eBay. That Miu Miu red leather bomber, the Custo Barcelona cowboy top, or that Patagonia fleece in the 2017 colorway. All these finds are all on eBay, along with millions of more main character pieces backed by authenticity guarantee. eBay is the place for pre-loved and vintage fashion. eBay, things people love.
Ready for another dose of mystery and mind games? The Hulu original series 9 Perfect Strangers is back for an all-new season. This May, a new group of visitors with mysterious connections to each other journey to an opulent healing retreat. Subjected to an intense and unorthodox form of therapy and wellness, they peel back the layers in a series of shocking twists and revelations. Starring Nicole Kidman, 9 Perfect Strangers is now streaming on Hulu. New episodes Wednesdays.
This is Radhi Devlukia from A Really Good Cry. Apothecary is a leading health and wellness brand dedicated to harnessing the power of plant medicine, formulating clean, effective herbal remedies that target the root cause of health imbalances. Their tinctures are easy to take directly into your mouth or mix into a delicious functional mocktail. I decided to try their Blue Burn formula, which uses Oregon grapefruit, a natural source of berberine that boosts metabolism and curbs sugar cravings. You can find Apothecary at Sprouts Farmers Market stores nationwide and online at Ulta.com, Amazon, and Apothecary.com. That's Apothecary with a K at Apothecary.com.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe, and you're listening to Climbing in Heels. This show is all about celebrating the most extraordinary superwomen who will be sharing their incredible journeys to the top, all while staying glamorous. Today with me, we have one of my very dear friends who I just have so much respect for, the beautiful soul of a human being, Dr. Barbara Sturm. She's an aesthetic doctor and founder and CEO of Dr. Barbara Sturm Molecular Cosmetics. I am so excited to speak with Barbara about how she balances her work life, her mom life, and what it's like to work together with her beautiful daughter. Because let's be honest, that is the dream. I'm so lucky. I'm surrounded by the most incredible women in my life. Some I've known my whole life, some I've known more recently. But I think what I want to understand a little bit, and I think the thing I really try to touch on in Climbing in Heels, is your journey to get to the top, all while still being so incredibly feminine and strong. And I mean, I have to just say, in your case, glamorous. I mean, you're like always dressed to the nines. Sometimes you'll wear like the sickest gown ever with heels, of course, but like no makeup. Like you just come in with that dewy, fresh skin. And so I want to really talk about, like, as a child, were you like Charly? Were you this like pretty little blonde, blue-eyed girl who had dreams, or were you just like all over the place and had no idea? You know, like how did Barbara start as Barbara?
You see, I probably was more like Pepper. And by the way, first of all, you know, when someone has you as a friend and women or people like you, it's great because you lift people up on stage and you make them, you know, stand out and, you know, give them the audience. And that's great. You know, you really support women like me or people like me who come up with something extraordinary, and you need that. You need those people who support you. Otherwise, you can have the best products, but nobody hears or sees it,
Yeah.
So that's about you.
Well, because I believe in you. I believe in you. It's genuine.
But that's authentic, that's authentic. And, I'm authentic. And, people like us who are authentic, we get trusted. And because we're not someone we are not, we don't pretend to, want to do skincare when we don't want to do skincare, when we just want to collect some more bucks, along the way. But, I was a little more like Pepper. I wasn't like, she's very cheeky. I wasn't like that. I had very strict parents, but I was all over the place, and I was a tomboy, and I wanted to do every sport. I wanted to be the best in school. I was always in the first row. I was always there when something was happening. And it was, all these facets, and I still can have all these facets, which is nice to have. I can cook in the kitchen. I can wear a gown. I can go skiing. I can go and play tennis with the boys. I can be in rubber boots. I take on anything.
Yes.
Anything. It's also fun in life to have all these options. But when someone would have told me, you would be in the beauty industry, I would not have believed it.
Really?
I was like, no, I don't think so. I wanted to be a doctor, but I am a doctor in the beauty industry now, which I think is very good and which sets us apart from any other brand. But, I created something which actually helps my skin, helps my patient's skin, helps my family and friends' skin, and then every skin out there, no matter which color, which concern, which skin type, which skin problem, which age, which gender, whatever it is, I have a solution for everyone with skin.
It's amazing. And did I hear correctly? You didn't start out as a derm doctor, right? Were you an orthopedic? Tell me about this.
Yeah, that's also kind of crazy. I always wanted to. I always wanted to be a children's doctor, and then I had a kid when I was 23. I looked like 12 when I had a kid.
Still look 12.
And I love you. But Charly was there, and then I was in the children's hospital working with all these really sick children, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart so many times. I said, I can't do it. And so I went into the orthopedics, and I did my doctor's study actually on professional ski racers, and that was my thing, combining fun and in work and study. So I went into the orthopedics, and I was lucky enough to go together with some scientists and really interesting people in the orthopedics, which taught me that you don't have to accept a treatment which is in the medical space out there. You can come up with something new. You can create something which you think is really better than anything out there and bring it to the patients. So I was very intrigued with science from my early medical years. And so I created the vampire facial when I was 29 or something.
I remember
28.
hearing about this, and I was like, what is that? Which is crazy, but it's using your own blood, right? Is that correct?
And that comes from the orthopedic, using the own blood, but also bringing the anti-inflammatory medicine into skin. Look, when we look at skin and you go to your dermatologist, what they do is they give you cortisone, antibiotics, acid peels, laser treatments. So no matter which disease you have, you get like a treatment which pretty much destroys your microbiome, your skin barrier. And, this is changing now, but, if you come from a dermatological approach, which is, very,
topical.
Also, let's say, topical, also effective for certain diseases. But, sometimes it's better to come from an anti-inflammatory background. And for the cosmetic industry or for the skincare industry, I think that approach changed a little bit the way we look at skincare, the way we look at anti-aging approach. Do we really want to aggressively target the surface of our skin? Do we really want to destroy our microbiome and our skin barrier? Do we want to make our skin super vulnerable, causing all this inflammation on our skin. We live in a time now where prevention is really the key, where we look out for our food, for our sleep habits, for we don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't do all these things to stay really healthy in order to not get sick down the line, because there's COVID, there's all kinds of viruses. And we need to stay as strong as possible. Why would we destroy our skin, which is the entry point for all these viruses and bacteria? Not just that, but, it gets translated into our immune system, whatever we put on our skin.
And I think people don't think like that. I think people are just like, oh, this is the thing I don't have to care about. You can throw chemicals on there because they'll come off when I wash my body or my face or whatever. And it's so interesting. And I think, there is this thing, I think, that people think about the sort of cosmetic industry and dermatology as this very surface industry, right? But ultimately, it's not. Ultimately, it ties into your overall wellness and health. And I think that's something that you tapped into early, and I think people are now really getting a better understanding of, But so you grew up with very strict parents. I could see that, by the way. I could totally see that.
But fun, but strict. I mean, I had my boundaries, it was, I think it was good.
I'm strict about a lot of things, and I have no qualms about it, because I actually think that children need guidance. They need rules. They need structure, or they're just going to lose their way, in my opinion. I mean, it works for us,
I'm sure, with Pepper is so different, and she is so strong-headed. I mean, I'm trying.
You're raising yourself now.
But it's
you're raising yourself now. Don't you see that? You're wait, that's how I was. Okay, this is coming back to me now.
The thing is, I was listening to my parents. She's just like, oh no, I'm doing this or this. It's and you know what? If you try to, not punish, but take things away,
doesn't work.
She doesn't care. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work. I find with kids that have stronger minds, I find talking is so much more effective. It's the conversation. Explaining the why. Because I actually have found as a parent that we grew up in a time where there was zero question who was the authority, right? It was like if you said why, they were like, because I said so. And that was the end.
Exactly. There's no discussion. There's no discussion.
None. And I think now we're raising our kids in a time where parents, we're trying to find that balance of being their best friends and being their authority, because we want them to share everything with us. We want them to live this life where they're advocates for themselves. We teach them to be confident leaders and things like that. And I find that sitting down and explaining exactly why is so much more effective, because once they can process, this is why they're protecting me. They're this. If I do this, I'm going to get hurt. If I do this, I'm going to get in trouble. And the ramifications are going to be this, right? It's sandal season at Dansko. That's right, Dansko. The iconic clog brand now offers sandals. Whether you're looking for stylish wedges, comfy flats, or trendy cork sandals, Dansko has you covered. And don't miss the all-new platform Pro Clog. Visit Dansko, dansko.com/radio to explore Dansko's full range of supportive and fashionable footwear. From Dansko's iconic heritage clogs to the latest designs, Dansko's easy-to-wear slip-ons and adjustable styles are made to support you through even the busiest days. Plus, enjoy free shipping and returns. Visit Dansko, dansko.com/radio today.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
We all have that piece. You know the one. The thing that's so you've basically become known for it. And if you don't have yours yet, you'll find it on eBay. Putting you on here, fashionistas. eBay is where you'll find those one-of-a-kind, can't stop researching, stay up dreaming about pieces again and again. I'm talking that Miu Miu off the runway red leather bomber, the Custo Barcelona top with the cowboy on it, or that Patagonia fleece in the 2017 colorway. All these finds are on eBay. And they even offer millions of main character pieces backed by authenticity guarantee. eBay is the place for pre-loved and vintage fashion. eBay, things people love.
From prioritizing time to keep our bodies active to simply creating space to check on our well-being, Happiness Lab listeners take their health very seriously. But when it comes to treating complex issues like heart disease, neurological disorders, or even cancer, the right care can make all the difference. That's why Cleveland Clinic has been elevating world-class patient care for over a century. Whether they're raising the bar in heart care, uncovering the mysteries of the brain, or researching new treatments for cancer, Cleveland Clinic continues to redefine what's possible. For every breakthrough in health, for every care in the world. Explore a wide array of health and wellness information by visiting clevelandclinic.org today.
So I have a question. Well, first of all, I do want to point out that you're a young mom. I want to point out the actual challenge and how hard that is to build a career while having a young child, because I always say, like, God, I should have done this younger so that I was a younger mom and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I say that. And sometimes I'm like, thank God I did this late. I probably would have given up on my career so that I didn't have to leave them. But you somehow managed to never leave Charly, basically, right? And I
had to leave for sometimes. Yeah.
But tell me about that. And now this sort of second time around, the difference.
So when Charly was little, I had my parents, my
Right.
mom was like a second mom to Charly. So when I was traveling, Charly was with them, or when I had to work, my mom would pick her up from school. So it was very perfect with Charly, and she was never really sad about it or anything. But she always saw me working, I think, which was very, very good for her. I think that watching your parents building something, I think is very good for the kids. And with Pepper, that Pepper now is 8. I was heavily building the business during that entire time. And she was traveling with me ever since she was 2 weeks old or 3 weeks old. And I put her on a plane and we traveled everywhere, and I took her. And that was hard. And then sometimes I went to Australia, so I just left her behind. Sometimes like for 2-3 weeks, this was so hard.
Oh my God, I cannot imagine.
Yeah, it was so, leaving your children, you know that, even if it's just for 2 days.
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. Your heartstrings are like being pulled.
Even if it's better for them.
Yeah.
If it's better for them to stay in their like, whatever system or school.
It hurts. But now I think that, watching Charly, for our listeners that don't know, Barbara has an older daughter who's in her mid-20s, right? And she's obviously like beyond stunning. But, I think I met her when she was maybe 15. And but she always was watching you. She always was next to you. She always was like respecting what you were doing. And I remember her teen moment where she was like, I have pimples, but my mom's thing, like she was still being a teenager. She would still keep you in line if you said something she didn't like. And you know what teenage daughters do, what I certainly did and probably still do to my mom. But I think that now that she works with you, how does that feel? That must feel incredible. Because like to me, that's the dream, but I feel like the dream doesn't always happen.
Oh my God, it's the best. It's the best. It's the best. I love Charly so much. She's so smart also in business. She does business strategy. Yesterday, she hosted a big lunch at Art Basel, Miami. She did an entire speech. I didn't even talk to her. She didn't ask me. She just does the speech. She's so confident now. It's fantastic. And, we did a big leadership meeting, and she was part of it. And then in our company, and then we had a coach with us. And the coach said to my MD after that leadership meeting, she said, Charly has to take over the company at one point. So it's unbelievable.
It's the dream.
It's not that I expected that.
No.
I didn't expect it. I didn't ask her to do it, but she's like, also, she's covering an entire next generation.
Yes.
Look, we are us. We know each other. Like, we have like our like whole network, but next generation network. She knows everybody. She travels to Milano, to London, to New York. She knows everybody. She's invited to everything. It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. No, it's incredible. And I think, it's interesting because I always give Missoni as an example of this beautiful family business, right?
So
where
great, yeah.
the grandmother and the grandfather and then, you know, the mom and Margarita and the sisters and the cousins and the uncles. And, you know, it's amazing. And I think for us, like, you know, when Raj and I started our business, I remember when we had Sky and everyone kept saying, what do you dream for your kids? And it was like, look, you want them to live their own life, right? You hope that you build something that you can pass to your children. But at the same time, if the kids have zero interest in doing this, like, let them live their life, let them live their dream and do their thing. But for you, I feel like you handled it so beautifully because you didn't ask. And that is smart.
You know, it's hard for a kid. You know, she's my daughter. You know, other employees or co-workers not always respect her that way. I didn't
'cause it's handed to
I
her.
didn't make them. Yeah. But I also didn't make them.
Of course.
So she had to work herself up and, you know, and strengthen her position. And I'm not telling people to love my kid, you know, it's like, it's up to them.
No, of course.
And everybody loves her. It's
She's
so
amazing.
Sweet, you know?
She has your very similar demeanor, though. She's very like, well, you're like inner, not calm, but she has this very like calm kind of chill thing about her.
Oh my God, she's so calm. I'm like a firecracker.
Well, so am I. I'm
do
with you.
Everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm impulsive. I just do this and this, and if this opportunity is, I do that as well. You know. And Charly's like thinking.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she grew up as my mother, and I was her kid always.
Isn't that
she
amazing?
was always like the one who just, you know, calms me down and just, you know, Mom, look at this way, and maybe it was so funny actually.
So I do want to talk about mentorship, because I think to your point earlier, you know, I grew up, I don't know how you grew up, but in my career, I didn't have a lot of female mentors that took me under and said, let me help you. Let me tell you what to do and what not to do in this industry. I'm going to tell you what's going to trip you up and, you know, all those things. I didn't really have that. And I think that's why I really try hard to be that person for people, because I do know how valuable it is. And I think for you growing up with, you know, amazing, strict parents, I did as well. I imagine your parents were mentors for you.
They teach you the basics, you know. My parents always said, you know, be kind to everyone, you know, have respect for everybody, you know, keep your feet on the ground. And that was something, you know, these are good skills to have.
Of course.
And, you know, building this business, I mean, I didn't even know I had a business. You know, I was just making creams for and stuff for my patients as a doctor, you know.
Yeah.
I was like this, you know, business became a business way later. But, you know, I'm still, as a doctor, it's service to my patients. And that really what matters to me. I don't really remember having mentors other than my parents.
Right.
I had a orthopedic doctor who helped me to really fulfill the dreams in doing my own treatments, and that really gave me, you know, the power also now to say, you know, I'm confident. I don't look right or left. I have a strong view of what's good for the skin. That doesn't mean, you know, it's what other people do. It's really just us. It's Sturm. It's nothing else but Sturm. I don't care what other people do, you know.
So
we
smart.
have like a very strong way. Yeah.
I think that's so smart, because I actually think that I read a quote recently and I'm trying to remember it. It was so profound and so true. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's the quote.
Focus on yourself.
And I loved it. I loved it.
And that's why I don't like this, you know, social media going through Insta stories.
Yeah,
you know, I always say to the kids of my friends, to everybody, say, stop watching other people's life. It doesn't make any sense. You know, focus on yourself. What do you want to do? You know, you're beautiful. You're, you know, your own person with your own life. It's crazy.
It's so true.
But,
I think grownups have the same problem, though. That's a thing. And I think that, like, you know, kids, I think the impact is sometimes irreparable, you know, but I have actual girlfriends that stopped being on social media because they said, it's really ruining me. Like, it's really making me feel like I'm not included in anything. I feel like I live this really boring life. She's like, and it really makes me feel bad about myself. And she's like, and I find when I don't look at it, I'm genuinely happier, and I was like, okay, that's, it's great. You're obviously living your dream beyond dreams. Did you know Dansko clogs have been supporting women in meaningful work since 1990? More than just footwear, Dansko is a symbol of comfort, quality, and purpose. With easy slip-on styles and durable materials, Dansko shoes keep you moving so you can focus on what matters. Whether you're on your feet all day or chasing big goals, Dansko supports you every step of the way. Step into comfort and purpose today. Visit Dansko, dansko.com/radio to learn more or find your perfect pair. We all have that piece. You know the one. The thing that's so you've basically become known for it. And if you don't have yours yet, you'll find it on eBay. Putting you on here, fashionistas. eBay is where you'll find those one-of-a-kind, can't stop researching, stay up dreaming about pieces again and again. I'm talking that Miu Miu off the runway red leather bomber, the Cousteau Barcelona top with the cowboy on it, or that Patagonia fleece in the 2017 colorway. All these finds are on eBay, and they even offer millions of main character pieces backed by authenticity guarantee. eBay is the place for pre-loved and vintage fashion. eBay, things people love.
From prioritizing time to keep our bodies active to simply creating space to check on our well-being, Happiness Lab listeners take their health very seriously. But when it comes to treating complex issues like heart disease, neurological disorders, or even cancer, the right care can make all the difference. That's why Cleveland Clinic has been elevating world-class patient care for over a century. Whether they're raising the bar in heart care, uncovering the mysteries of the brain, or researching new treatments for cancer, Cleveland Clinic continues to redefine what's possible. For every breakthrough in health, for every care in the world. Explore a wide array of health and wellness information by visiting clevelandclinic.org today.
This is Radhi Devlukia from A Really Good Cry. Did you know that approximately 1 in 3 Americans have insulin resistance and consume over 300% more than their daily recommended intake of sugar? I'm here to tell you that you can stop sugar cravings before they even start with Apothecary's Sugar Kit. This potent tincture features Japanese-inspired ingredients studied for their ability to support healthy blood sugar levels, giving you more energy, less fatigue, and fortified longevity. Apothecary is a leading Japanese health and wellness brand dedicated to harnessing the power of plant medicine. It is inspired by founder and CEO Shizu Okusa's Japanese heritage and mission to bridge East and West by harnessing the intelligence of nature. Their goal is to make everyday healing second nature. Apothecary's products are formulated by clinical herbalists with specialized knowledge of plant medicine and science-backed research to craft the formulas. Add Sugar Kick into your daily routine to keep life sweet while also balancing your hormones. Find Apothecary in Sprouts Farmers Market stores nationwide and online at Ulta.com, Amazon, and Apothecary.com. That's Apothecary with a K at Apothecary.com.
But I think the question is, I want to talk about education for a brief second because I always like to talk about, I really believe your education does not define you in any way. I think to go to sort of like your earlier point, you were sort of like, I was going to be a child doctor. I thought I was going to be a child psychiatrist for what it's worth. But I want to understand your point of view on that. Like, did Charly go to college? You obviously went to college because you're a doctor, so you went all the way. But I do want to hear your thoughts on that.
I think you collect life skills throughout your life, yeah? And You're smart or you're not smart. Doesn't matter if you're, first in class or good in math. I don't think it matters. And to give you really strong examples, with Pepper, for example, Pepper talked very late. Pepper read very late. Everything's very late. I know she's so smart. She outsmarts me every day. Mm-hmm. But,
Different smart.
I don't push. I don't think it's important. It's important how, does she interact with other people? How is she happy? Is she sporty? Does she get her energy out? I think, kids find their way. And with Charly was the same. I was never at a parent-teacher conference. I was never, I let her do, I wasn't, checking her homework. She was doing everything herself. She went to boarding school. She was the best in her entire grade. I mean, the entire,
Amazing.
Age group. She was I didn't ask her for anything. It was her choice. But I still strongly believe that you learn your life lessons in so many other ways and, not just being good at school and certain things.
I agree. But you had to have been a student like Charly. You had to have been. Because how do you become a doctor?
You know what? I was lucky. I have a photographic memory.
Me too.
And that really helped me.
Me too.
Yeah,
I swear that got me through school.
And I was like, medical school is very hard.
Yes.
And I hate sitting behind books forever.
Okay. 2 questions I want to ask you. What are your biggest challenges? Like, what keeps you awake at night?
I'm a very good sleeper, but obviously sometimes, when you, I thank God, when you go to bed with something really like crazy problem or something, I like to fix problems.
Yes.
I like challenges. So if something is not 100%, I find it extremely interesting. So that's why I'm never really all that bothered with it. The biggest challenges, I think, is, the people you're surrounded with.
Yeah.
If they're coming into your life as workers or whatever this is so hard. And regarding where your business is at what level, at what point, you need to make sure you have the right people with the right skill set for that part of your growth. And are they loyal? Can you trust them? Are they good to you? Are they passionate about, what you're passionate about? And, it's
No,
that was the biggest learning curve.
Yeah, it's same, by the way. I think, and I want to point that out because I think that is a very common thread with entrepreneurs. It's finding your team, finding your people, and then you hold on to them for dear life. Those stars and those great people.
Yeah, but also I'm like, I have a very naive optimism, which is good because I'm good in risk taking because of that. But I'm also like, I for me, my team is family.
Same.
I love harmony in my life.
Same.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to struggle with like negative energy. So I want a happy place, and that is not always possible, and that keeps me up. I want to be good with everybody. I
think it's a very common thread. I have to tell you, all my friends that are CEOs, founders, it is the same thing. It's your team that you trust for life. You keep them close. They share like every breath you take, and they're next to you all the time. So it's this trust that you need. And I think when that gets tripped up, it really throws you.
One doctor left me, went to the competition. I told her everything. Everything. I didn't sleep for months. I had to do sleeping pills because I was so disappointed.
It's like someone taking a marble statue and throwing it into your stomach is what it feels like.
And then, absolutely. And then what it does to you actually is like, it makes you even better because, I developed a bunch of new techniques and treatments, which nobody knew because I said, I have to develop further.
Yep.
So I'm ahead of everybody again,
Of course. And that's the good you take from that. And I think that's, but it also helps you develop a bit of a thicker skin. It can't change who you are.
But thicker skin, thicker skin also makes you kind of rough.
I know.
And that not always helps because you just become a little more like
cynical,
toughened up.
Yeah, I agree. Last question for you. Where do you see yourself? What's the dream? Do you ever say, okay, I'm going to keep doing this and then I'm moving here and I'm going to be doing this? I always joke I'm going to live in the south of France and live near the Hotel du Cap and sit on the beach and make jewelry. That's my end game. But what's your dream?
You see, I totally live in the present.
Yeah.
I'm not
Smart.
much in the past. Sometimes when you have little things which happen to your life, sometimes you have to go back to the past a little bit, which I don't like. And I like to float. I like, and I never chose a boyfriend who I knew I would know my life in 10 years,
Right.
And if somebody would give me this feeling, oh my God, in 10 years you will be this and this and this and this. And I was no, I'm out of here.
Yes.
So that was not, I couldn't deal with it. So the dreams I have, I like to fulfill while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So what I did, I actually moved to Switzerland in the mountains. I'm living in the mountains. I always wanted to do that. So I'm skiing. Basically got a cute wooden chalet and I go skiing in the morning, before working I go skiing. So that's my dream. So I live my dream, as I go along. And that I had to learn too, because, you always think, oh, when you do this, then you do this.
It's guilt, right? You feel guilty. Like, wait, if I live in the mountain, then I'm not doing all the things I am. But you're like, wait a minute. I can do both, right?
But we need to do the things we want to do. If we want to do something, let's just do it, because who knows how we end up? Who knows how long we will live? Who knows what's happening? I think we just have to do a few things if we can. If it fits in our time, if it fits into our life, if it fits with our children. Because the end game to me is like happy children, and them, being healthy enough to be with them for as long as we can, and, take care of them as much as we want to,
Yeah. That's so funny. It's like the more I talk to you, the more I realize why we're such good friends. We're actually really similar creatures. But I just want to say I love you. I talk about your products probably at least once a day, actually.
I know. I love you too so much.
I mean it. I have so much respect for you. I love your story. I love your kids. I'm fortunate that I get to be with Charly a lot. But I just,
you're such a great friend to us.
Please.
You're such a great friend to us. I'm so grateful.
I love it.
I'm so happy Malcolm introduced us.
Oh, he's the best. I love that man. I do. I love that man. And I love you. And I'm so happy for you. And, for my listeners, if you have not tried Dr. Barbara Sturm's products, you have to. And if it's one product, I get asked a lot when I do my Ask Me Anything on my social, if I could afford one product. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so obsessed with like the B serum now or the D serum. Like,
me too. Oh my God.
But I feel like one should be the hyaluronic, right? One glow drops.
I mean, the hyaluronic is a game changer. But I also
when
I started using, I think you only should use Sturm, and if you only can have one product, I would do the face cream, because that's how you need to start with.
Right.
And then if you can add the next one, you do the hyaluronic.
Okay.
And you have a serum, and then the face cream. So then you're good. Your skin will be always glowy and beautiful and transformed, and you will love it.
I love and adore you. Have the best time. Go skiing for me. Get to sleep. I think it's late there, or have dinner, or have a glass of wine or something. But I love you madly.
All of it.
All of it. Let's be real. Dr. Barbara Sturm is absolutely one of the sweetest people I know. I'm so happy that we got to really dig more into her background, because as well as I may know somebody, when I have them on the podcast, you really uncover, just more layers of how they came to be the success that they are. And, I think she is so interesting because, as she said, she was a very young mom and an older mom. And, that's a real interesting challenge in life, to try and figure out how to do both simultaneously and, how to do it the second time around as, being sort of more of a grown-up, I like to say. And she did it while building her career, which I have to tell you is one of the greatest challenges that a parent could ever face, because you have to leave a lot. And especially when it's your business and your brand, it's like there's no one that can show up instead of you. She just does that so beautifully. And I know that there isn't video of Barbara, but you can certainly find her on my Instagram, on her Instagram. She is strikingly beautiful. And I will say that her skin is literally glowing 24 hours a day. Like when she sleeps, when she wakes up. I've seen her at all hours. I've seen her with not a stitch of makeup on, except like lip balm. And I mean, she really does practice what she preaches. Thank you so much for listening to Climbing in Heels. And please don't forget to write a review wherever you get your podcasts. While you're at it, follow me on @RachelZoe and @ClimbingInHeelsPod on Instagram for more updates. Did you know Dansko's been supporting women pursuing meaningful work since 1990? Yep, Dansko the Clog Company, but it's more than just footwear. Dansko is a symbol of comfort, quality, and purpose. Women wear Dansko shoes as a badge of their values and a nod to the work they do every day. Work that makes a difference in their communities, one bold step at a time. Dansko's Heritage Collection and newest designs are made for life on the move. Dansko's slip-on and go, easy-to-adjust styles save you time while their commitment to high-quality materials ensures long-lasting comfort and durability. Whether you're on your feet all day, tackling big goals, or simply embracing every day, Dansko is there to support you every step of the way. Because at Dansko, every decision is made with you in mind, from the shoes they design to the impact they make. Step into comfort and purpose today. Visit Dansko, dansko.com/radio to learn more or try a pair. That's dansko.com/radio.
This is Radhi Devlukia from A Really Good Cry. Did you know that approximately 1 in 3 Americans have insulin resistance and consume over 300% more than their daily recommended intake of sugar? Have you been wanting to beat your sugar cravings? Well, I did a 30-day sugar fast and I found Apothecary Sugar Cake that helped me through it. Their potent tincture features Japanese-inspired ingredients studied for their ability to support healthy blood sugar levels, giving you more energy, less fatigue, and fortified longevity. Find Apothecary in Sprouts Farmers Market stores nationwide and online at Ulta.com, Amazon, and Apothecary.com. That's Apothecary with a K at Apothecary.com.
New out-of-nowhere obstacles. New all-or-nothing moments. New less-than-likely triumphs. Season 2 of the Unshakables podcast has it all. Hi, I'm Ben Walter, CEO of Chase for Business and host of the show. We're excited to bring you more inspiring stories from small business owners who share the what are we gonna do moments that ended up changing everything. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Copyright 2025, JP Morgan Chase & Company.
Add dry eye relief to your routine with Refresh Optive Mega 3, a lubricating eye drop with a moisture-rich, preservative-free formula, enhanced with inactive ingredients like flaxseed oil and antioxidants. This formula supports all 3 tear film layers and provides advanced hydration to instantly moisturize and soothe dry eyes. Refresh Optive Mega 3 is safe to use as often as needed, so you can make it part of your wellness routine. Find Refresh online or in the eye drop section at all major retailers. FSA and HSA eligible.
You're listening to an iHeart podcast.